let's just start at the beginning. When did the notion first come up for a general store?
Probably the end of 2009, beginning of 2010.
Just to add to the program at the park.
Correct.
So, with what era store are we going for here?
We're looking at 1920s Farmers Branch.
Okay, and how is that in sync with the rest of the buildings right there in the immediate vicinity?
It fills a gap, really. We have the 1840s log cabins, the 1856 Gilbert House. Got the Victorian house about 1880s. Depots about turn of the century. Gas stations about 1930s. So
it's kind of a progression.
Yes, fills a gap.
Okay.
A timeline gap, if you will.
And how many old stores are there like that still in existence? How many did y'all visit to do the background for it?
There really aren't that many left that are really still around and still in use. We have the store in Jonesville that you went out and visited. There's a store in Coppell that actually used to be in Farmers Branch in the 20s, and it was moved into Coppell at some point and given to Minyards, and Minyards set up kind of a historic grocery store in this old Farmers Branch store. So we made several trips out to that store and tried to document the exterior and interior, how it was set up, and it will help us quite a bit as we progress. Well, the fundraising really got started with Charlie Bond. His wife, Joanne, was the first president of our Friends group. She passed away in December of 2009, and Charlie wanted to do something to kind of commemorate Joanne's memory in the park, and he came out and basically made a challenge grant where he put in $50,000 and then challenged the city to raise the additional $50,000 that we'll use for the construction and stocking of the store. So he donated his portion, and then the city got busy on coming up with its share of the budget, and we did a no-show kind of black tie gala, which was very well received in the community. We had donations from $15, $20 on up to $1,000 from members of the community, which was a fantastic way to kind of get the ball rolling. We received a wonderful donation from Republic that runs the city's landfill. They chipped in. Basically, they came in and said, "How much more money do you guys have to raise?" And they raised or donated the additional $17,000 that we hadn't raised yet on our own, which was fantastic. Kind of capped.
So that put it over the top.
That puts us over the top, and now we have the $100,000 for the project, and planning has started. We've got architect drawings and are proceeding.
When do you expect construction?
Very soon. We hope to have everything finished before Thanksgiving as far as the exterior goes. If the drought continues, the weather shouldn't slow us down, so hopefully all the ducks will be lined up in a row and we can get rolling.
Now, stocking a store like this to the authentic nature of a 1920s establishment is a pretty formidable task.
Yes. Yeah, and I think we've been pretty clear with everybody that building the store is going to be the easy part. It's going to be stocking the interior that's going to take some time. The goal for the park is to make the store basically look like when you open the door and you walk inside that you're transported in time back into the 1920s in Farmers Branch. So the items that you'll see in there will be new on the shelf. They won't be something that somebody's had stashed in their garage or their attic. So finding new items that are in good shape is going to take some time.
Will there be items actually for sale, or is it all display?
Nothing for sale. This is all going to be for display.
Okay.
Hopefully you'll be able to get the experience of going in and shopping in a 1920s store.
Now let's talk about the experience. When someone walks through the front door, what are they going to see? What are their eyes going to behold?
Essentially, the stores were kind of like a mini Walmart, if you will. They got a little bit of everything inside there, just in a much smaller space. So food, canned goods, tools, maybe some clothing, but essentially just like a Walmart, but on a very, very smaller scale.
And in a lot of communities, they were really social centers too.
Yeah, exactly. You know, a lot of times you'd see the old timers gather around at the back around the stove if the weather was cold, or out underneath the porch if the weather was hot, and just visiting and passing time.